My greetings to all, and today the session is regarding about the Pardo. It's about the death and after the death. So before starting that, I just thought that in case if you have any questions or have you faced any difficulties while you are practicing the dream yoga, you can ask me the questions. Past few sessions, I talked about the dream yoga. It's about it's about how we can practice in the state of the dream. So while you are practicing the dream yoga, if you face any difficulties or if you have any questions, then you can type the questions. And now today that I talk about the Bardo. Bardo, the subject is it's relate with the death and after the death. So normally, many peoples don't want to discuss about the subject, such a subject which are not very pleasant to discuss. But one thing here that we have to know from the Vajrayana, especially from the Vajrayana perspective. So that is not an end. That is something more than the end. That is the one of the starting point of the new life. So every end, every destruction, it's the new beginning. So thing is that when you look at the death, normally people used to get scared of death because they get scared because they see the death as the end. Now in the practice, the Bardo practice, it teaches us that how we can see the death as a new beginning. So it is like one of the new beginning. So it helps us to get over the fear of the death. In our life, there are lots of the fear comes in our life. So the worst fear is fear of the death. It's the worst fear. It is the one of the most difficult to overcome. Let me tell you one story. There is one person, his residence is next to cemetery. He used to get scared of ghost. Every time when he have to come back, from the work, it used to get late and he get the scared of the ghost because of he was residing just next to the cemetery. So then he went to see the one master. Then the master, he just expressed and he told his old problem to the master and told him that he get a lot of scared. He had the scared and he had the fear that the ghost might hunt him. The ghost might attack him when he comes back late night to the home or even when he sleeps. So he told he have a lot of the fear and asked master to help him to overcome that fear. So master gave him one locket, the amulet, and told him that when you wear this locket, ghosts cannot attack you, ghosts cannot harm you. You don't have to worry at all now. Only one thing you should be very cautious, that locket should not be opened. Once you open that locket, then it will lose all the power of this locket. Then ghosts might attack you. He went home with a very happy. He went back to home very happily after he got that locket. Now he knows that the ghost cannot harm him when he wear that locket. Then after the week later, he came to the master's place again, and the master told him, what happened now? Still you get scared of ghost? Still do you have the fear? So he told the one thing. Now I don't get scared of the ghost at all. But when I sleep, I cannot sleep now. Not because of the scare of the ghost. Now I am scared that while I sleep, my kid might open that locket and the locket will lose its power. So this is what happening in our life. One fear comes and the one fears goes. One fears goes and the one fear comes. So all the time, lot of the different fears which comes in our mind. Now the amount of fear worst is the fear of the death. So here that we have to learn the one thing, that how we can overcome the fear of the death. So that's why here is the Vajrayana perspective from the Vajrayana tradition. So they explain about the death. It explains that how we can transform the death state into the state of the enlightenment. So very bottom line is that how we can achieve enlightenment in the state of the death. For that, we have to understand that what is the death, and what happens after the death. This is the one thing. Second thing is that whether is there any possibilities to see that our own death, how close it is. One thing is very clear, that we cannot escape the death. One time, one student came to the master's place and asked the master to teach him that how he can escape from the death, how he can escape from the death. He told the master that he don't want to die. So master told him that, student, if you don't want to die, there is only one solution, that you should not born. Once you are not born, you won't die. Once you are born, then you cannot escape the death. The thing is that, is there any possibilities to see that our own death is how close? Is it our death is near, or is our death is not that near? If you look back in the history, they are saying that Abraham Lincoln had the dream before his death. He saw his own death in the dream few days before. Few days before his assassination. Like that. Even if the many great masters, it predicts that their deaths. It tells that when they will leave this world. So this is the second point. Third point is to hear that what will happen after the death. That after the death we call the pardo. That is the stage we call the intimated state after the death. Then the pardo will come after the death. These are the three main points that what we have to learn in this. In this the practice of the pardo. So now the first thing is that what is the death? We have to understand the death. Death is the something that when our own consciousness and our physical body, when they break the relation, when the relation between our physical body and our consciousness breaks, then it called the death. That means that when the consciousness leaves our body, that moment it called the moment that it called as a death. So normally when the person is dying, if you look at the death process, I'm talking about the natural death. When the person is dying, natural process, when the person starts to die, that first thing is that person will lose the element of earth element. When the person is losing the earth element, that person will feel like he was falling from the very high cliff, or is falling from the very high building. He or she might feel that moment that the person is losing the earth element, and the death process is starting. So, yeah, that is the process is starting of the death process. Then the second moment, the person will lose the water element. That moment, the person will feel the very thirsty. Still, the person can hear. Still, the person can talk. He might or she might ask the water to drink. Then the person will lose the fire element, then lose all the heat of the body. Then the person will lose the wind or air element. That moment the person will stop taking the breath. The breath will stop, and clinically they might declare the death. But from the Vajrayana point of view, still the person has not died. Still there is a function of the consciousness. Okay, so today maybe I'll stop here, and there's a few questions, so I will answer the questions. Yeah, so it said that the first questions, it comes that okay, instead of the walking in the dream, I wake myself up in the odd hours of the night anyway to prevent this. Okay, so we generally the waking up in the odd hours in the when you are sleeping, so it also very much depends on at the time of when you get sleep. So that's why when you are going to bed, it's important to have the very peaceful the thoughts in your mind. When you are going to the sleep, and when you have a very disturbing mind, when you go to the sleep, it will affect your sleep, and it will affect the dream. When you are having a very peaceful thought and a very joyful thought when you are going to bed, that will bring you the very good sleep and a very nice dream. And now another questions that before practicing yoga, I had a very vivid dreams every night. Before I did dream at all, I sleep very peaceful. Then it was never been alive. I did, however, dream about a few speed dream in the snow covered with the mountain during my dream yoga. Okay, so now second one is don't seems like they have a question saying that it's like Now you're talking about the dream with the covering with the snows. So temple, normally, okay, that is more like when you have the dream, like normally the snow covering of the mountains, we consider that's a good dream. So snow is the symbolizing that the purity. So purity, snow symbolizing the purity. So yeah, that's a good dream. So in this, I don't see any questions. So yeah, okay. Uh, I see. Okay. So okay. Once you're, I see. Okay. So normally when I give the teaching of the dream yoga, one place, I told that myself, I don't practice the dream yoga because I want to have the good sleep. Dream yoga means when you are having the dream yoga means that you need to dream. You have to have the dream. When you had the dream, then you don't cannot fall a deep sleep. So now once you're saying that you're not having the dream, so to have the dream, you at the daytime, you always have to visualize or think that everything what you see, everything what you see is like a dream. And before when you go to the bed, just visualize the syllable Om, syllable Om on your throat, uh, syllable Om your throat, and when you are having the visualizing the syllable Om on your throat, that will help you to not only have the dream, also have the clear dream. So clear dream. So that's why when we're saying the clear dream means that you can remember the dream. Sometimes also the one question is you're asking that why you cannot remember the dream because you are not having the clear dream. Once you have the clear dream, then you can remember very well. To have the clear dream, before you go to the bed, you just visualize syllable red, syllable Om. That can be English script AUM, Om on your throat. Okay. With that, just with thinking that, visualizing that, and try to follow it. Or you can visualize the syllable Om on your center of your body. That's a heart. That will help you have the dream and have the clear dream. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.